At the end of the battle against House Wolfford, Lord Silvio of Tellior leaves the field defeated. The victors, however, do not go by unscathed, repeated battles taking their toll on the soldiers. All goes according to Gustadolf's plan to weaken both houses. Landroy Fawkes, Lord of the Third of Glenbrook's High Houses, faces off against General of Laura.
I must survive. Somehow, I must survive! Ah!
Escaping all on your own, I see.
Rufus, what are you doing here?
I came to collect my reward.
Reward? Since when were losers ever rewarded?
I remember our deal differently.
As do I. I was promised an invincible executioner. You are nothing but a fraud, a sheep in wolf's clothing. What's so funny?
I have a new deal for you. Pay me what I'm owed or die.
I cannot give you what I do not possess. But if you kill me now, you will have lost to Wolfford with nothing to show for it.
Go on.
If you let me live, on the other hand, I will find the coin to pay you. What do you say? Do we have a deal?
Fine. But if I don't get that money, consider your life forfeit.
Looking worse for wear, Anna. Long scouting missions sure ain't easy.
Easy or not, I do what duty demands. Do you need something?
No. Just reckon Benedict must be relieved you're back safe and sound.
Must he?
Course. After all, he treats you like his own daughter. Don't know any parent what wouldn't worry over their child. And he's got extra cause to fret, with all the dangerous work he gives you.
Oh? It never crossed my mind. Benedict trusts me. That's all I've ever needed.
That's so.
Do all parents by blood show concern for their children?
Wondering about yours, are you?
That's none of your concern.
I still remember how you insisted on being a scout, soon as you were old enough. You wouldn't say why, but any fool could guess it was to find out more regarding your parents. This work's well suited to that sort of thing.
Yet Benedict refused me.
And he was wise to do so. It ain't a job for an amateur. Guess he hadn't anticipated you'd trained under Archibald.
I earned his respect when he saw what I could do. The means don't matter, only the results.
I have grave news, sir. The enemy has captured one of our scouts. I know our soldiers aren't broken easily, but given enough time in the enemy's hands...
And here we are, severely short-handed. I shall call a war council, so our approach may be reconsidered.
The scout has been rescued and returned safely home.
Already? That was far sooner than I anticipated.
I hope my actions were not out of line.
No, well done, Anna. I don't know where I'd be without you.
Nor I you.
Can't thank you enough for leaping to my scout's rescue, while Benedict was still pondering what to do. I'd pay good coin just to see that look on his face again. So, think you'll find your parents? Not trying to dissuade you from looking, mind. Only being nosy.
Dissuade? Is there something you've not told me?
What would I know that you don't? Just take care you don't end up regretting it.
I'm this close. I can feel it.
Greetings. Were you training outside?
Not today. Even I stay away from the proving grounds on occasion. The members of the King's Guard must keep themselves in prime fighting shape. That includes resting when our bodies are weary.
A wise policy. The handmaidens of Esfrost adhere to a similar principle. With clear eyes, we see, we serve, we anticipate.
Interesting. Although our tools are different, we're alike in our aims.
Indeed. We must be the pillars our charges turn to in times of need. Even so, we are only human. If I may ask in confidence, do you ever find it trying to serve Prince Roland? Is he ever unreasonable? Have you ever found your patience tested?
No, never. It is an honor to serve, always. It is an odd question to ask, but I must confess I find it hard to imagine what it is like to serve in a society such as Esfrost's.
As do I, although I lived through it. It all feels as if it were so long ago.
You're not one for speaking plain, are you? But I suspect we may have much in common. I'm curious to hear your story, if you are willing to share it.
Of course. I made a promise to myself long ago to effect change through my own deeds, not to live as a mere servant.
And what came of that promise?
Hailing from Hyzand, at first I endeavored to learn at the Ministry, that I might use the knowledge gained there to help others. But they guard their secrets fiercely, and maintain strict control over what fields their students can pursue. As much as it pained me to leave my home, I could not suffer such stifling rules, and so set forth to Esfrost. I took quickly to learning at the archives, where independent study is encouraged. I spent days in the stacks, soaking up as much knowledge as I could, when one day,
You are the one called Gila, yes?
Yes, my lord.
They tell me you're the most talented researcher the Archives have ever seen.
I couldn't say that, my lord. Though I do spend more time here than most anyone else.
Admirable modesty. And you aren't frightened of me. Most impressive. I believe we have a suitable role for you. Come with me. The Archduke would have a word.
The Archduke? But...
No harm will come to you, if that is your fear. Now, follow me.
Lord Svarog had arranged an audience with the former Archduke of Esfrost, who appointed me as Frederica's personal tutor. She was the former Archduke's daughter, so I took my duty seriously. Yet I could never shake the feeling that I had betrayed my ideals. Perhaps I justified it by telling myself that my teachings could plant the seed for change.
An indirect approach, but an active one nonetheless.
The chance was unexpected, to be sure, but I could not very well deny it. The Archduke's successor, Gustadov, was a man that paid no heed to birth or blood. He effected a change in people's attitudes, a change which provided fertile ground in which my teachings could take root. Thus, I stayed by Frederica's side. Truth be told, I had not thought to be with her for this long. And yet, here I am. Life is truly a journey of unforeseen destinations.
That should do it. You should be able to use that arm just fine in no time.
Many thanks, lad. You truly are a talented one. My apologies for treating you like an intruder the other day.
Think nothing of it, my good man. If you need anything else, I'm more than happy to help.
Your magic never ceases to amaze. Did you learn everything from your grandfather?
You bet I did. The Archmage Grandante taught me everything I know.
Grandante? There's something I've been meaning to ask you, Narv.
Ask away.
I was in Hyzand for a short time, studying at the Ministry. No doubt you know it's considered the greatest authority in this world when it comes to matters arcane. Their library contains everything from records of magically enhanced soldiers to technical tomes and much, much more. Their chronicles on the history of magic, too, were the most comprehensive in our realm. And yet, I do not recall seeing even a single mention of a mage named Grandante. One would think the achievements of such a powerful sorcerer would be recorded somewhere. Why are they not?
Those awful Hyzantians. Truly, they have no shame.
Narv?
The chronicles you speak of? In truth, they were written by my grandfather's own hand.
What? But then why is he not credited by name?
He refused to do the research the former Hierophant ordered of him, and was branded a heretic and unbeliever. They erased his name and achievements from the records, and made it like he never existed at all. He was then banished from the city and died in exile, his name all but forgotten. It's all their fault no one knows of the Archmage Grandante.
I had no idea.
These robes I wear were once his. They're the only remaining proof that he once walked this realm.
So you carry his memory with you everywhere you go?
I promised myself I would make the Archmage Grandante's name known around the world. So I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before, until all in the realm know his story. And in the process, I'll become the greatest mage this world has ever seen.
That's the spirit.
Thanks, Gila. Just you watch, Grandfather. I'm going to make you proud.
This day shall be ours!
Never stop learning. Once we have stacked those sandbags, we should be well fortified against even the fiercest deluge.
Leave it to me. This old wolf has some vim in him yet. Phew. Haven't used some of those muscles since before I can remember.
I must say, when I saw the enormity of the task before us, I did not think we would finish in mere bells. I had braced myself for a full day of labor, at the very least.
Thank Benedict for that. We'd still be searching for weaknesses in our perimeter had he not been guiding us.
Indeed, but let us not understate Eridor's feats of strength.
Come now, Eridor. How many times must I tell you to be delicate with the sandbags? We only have so many at hand.
I hear you, I hear you. I'll treat him as delicately as my lady love, in the absence of one.
Now is not the time for jests, Eridor.
If you don't want me complaining and you don't want me jesting, then I guess I'll just shut my mouth.
To hear them trading barbs like children, you would never think they work so well together.
Wisdom and strength. Two pillars that keep House Wolfort standing strong.
Wisdom, eh? He wasn't always that way. Took him plenty of failing to get where he is now.
I find that difficult to believe.
Is there something you wish to share with us, Eridor?
Might be. Maybe you've forgotten the folly of 20 years past, but my mind is a steel trap. And what's our task for today?
We are to deliver this message to Lady Destra with all haste.
Seems simple enough. Send a bird.
I would not trust a bird in this rain. A horse would be more reliable, and swifter besides.
Is that so? I respectfully disagree, my friend. Either way, I'm not going to be the one nursing you back to health if you catch the chills.
Shall we make it a wager, then? Send a bird, and we shall see who reaches Lady Destra first. You had best hurry.
What? Benedict? Off he goes. Well then, where are those damned hawks? As I recall, Benedict arrived at around the same time as the hawk. If it were a sunny day, he might have won.
Ah, the folly of youth. Many of our best days were spent in Lord Simon's service. We made many such wagers, in an attempt to get into Lord Simon and Lady Destra's good graces.
I remember when...
I believe we have had enough reminiscing for one day, Eridor.
Don't be such a harsh taskmaster, Benedict. Where's the harm in a story?
Ask me that again when the floodwaters break through our meager fortifications. There is much to do and little time to do it. Wouldn't you agree, Anna?
Me?
Old friends or old enemies? Sometimes it is hard to tell with those two.
Whatever the case, our work's done for the day. And there's nothing like a hard drink after hard labor. You two care to join me?
I would love to. Please, regale me with more tales of your youth.
I see no harm in one drink.
Let's be off then.
Shall we invite Benedict along?
You'd only be wasting your breath.
Now that you mention it, I do not believe I have ever seen you two sharing drinks.
Spirits cloud the mind, so I rarely drink. When I do partake, however, I prefer to do so in quiet. I fear Eridor would only spoil that.
Lord Serenoa never ceases to amaze me. Despite all the hours he dedicates to his duties, he looks none the worse for wear.
Even so, I am certain it takes its toll on him. He wants to set an example for his people and those who serve him, and wishes not to worry them over his condition. Excuse me, Serenoa, but is there anything I could do to help?
Frederica, my apologies for the delay. The citizen's petition will require a bit more time, so why don't you and Gila return home ahead of me?
I see, if you insist. But please do not push yourself too hard, Serenoa.
I shan't. Thank you, Frederica.
Of course.
Is something the matter? It's rare of you to sigh like that.
Did I? Oh my.
It looks like something's troubling you. If you wish to talk about it, I am happy to lend an ear.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I sometimes wonder if I can go on like this.
Are things not going well with Lord Serenoa?
No! Serenoa is as kind and gentle as ever. It is my own self I have doubts about. I cannot help but wonder if I am truly of any use to him.
Since Lord Serenoa is always working so hard, why not give him a tonic to boost his vitality? I purchased one from a merchant not long ago. It should chase all his fatigue away.
A good idea to be sure, but the fact remains it is not me myself that is serving him.
Then how about preparing a meal for him? Something nutritious to fill him with vim and vigor.
Me? Cook?
Yes. I'm certain he would be delighted by anything that you make.
But I've never cooked before. I doubt anything I make would suffice.
You won't know until you try. Besides, what matters isn't the result, but the feeling behind it. Use this cookbook. I'm sure you will find a recipe or two to your liking.
Thank you, Gila. Now then, which of these would Serenoa enjoy?
Far too much blood has been spilled.
I know how loyal you were to the late King Regna. We may be enemies, but you still have my respect. I would invite you to join our ranks.
You would dishonor me so.
I prefer it to your death.
Save your pity for someone who needs it. Your master will never have our loyalty, even if it means the end of the 3 high houses. Your Majesty, I serve you even in death.
His plot foiled and bested in battle by House Wolford, Silvio Tellior flees, leaving everything behind. House Falks fights valiantly, but ultimately loses to General Avlora's army, and joins their late king in death. Of Glenbrook's 3 high houses, Wolford, Tellior, and Falks, 2 are felled by the iron hammer of Esfrost. House Wolford now stands alone, in more peril than ever.
So, 2 of Glenbrook's 3 high houses have fallen. Esfrost's invasion took me by surprise at first, but this is quite the interesting turn.
Now Wolford stands alone, having lost both the crown and its allies. There is no better time for us to act.
Then let us set the trap, brimming with bait enough to lure them in and keep them there.
As you command. The famed High House of the Salt Iron War will soon be under your thumb, my lord. Having control of their land will make our deliveries that much easier.
Indeed, and House End will prosper more than ever. Brute strength is not the only path to victory. A truly wise man can win without ever drawing his sword.
My lord, a bird from Sorsley End of Hyzant has arrived. He has offered to send us provisions and funds in light of our situation.
A most welcome offer, to be sure, but why would he extend a helping hand to us now? Could he be after something?
Undoubtedly. There are regrettably none so altruistic amongst the Saintly Seven. Seeing as Minister Sorsley has never shown much interest in other nations, I can only surmise this is a ploy to put House Wolford in his debt.
As I suspected. But our people and soldiers need all the help they can get. Let us accept his proposal. We can deal with whatever ulterior motives he may have once we are back on our feet.
Understood. We shall discuss our countermeasures at another time.
Congratulations on your victory in the Falk's domain, General.
Thank you, sir. They were proud warriors. And Lord Landroy a formidable foe, despite his age.
I imagine he was content to breathe his last on his beloved fields. 30 years have passed since the Salt Iron War. It was time he was put to rest beside that bygone era. Avlora, it is time you had a rest as well.
What do you mean by that, Your Grace?
Your soldiers have fought long and hard. Any longer and their morale may suffer for it.
But what of House Wolford? Prince Roland is still with them. Is that not cause for concern?
There are no lords left worth worrying about. House Wolford stands alone after Roland's uprising.
Even so, we would do well not to underestimate them. Even standing alone, they once changed the course of the Salt Iron War.
House Wolford is no longer the hunter, but the hunted. Or do you believe you understand something that I do not, General?
No. Forgive me, Your Grace.
You wish to speak to me, Your Highness?
I wish to leave the Wolford domain.
And you want me to persuade Lord Serenoa?
Yes. Though I doubt he will welcome the conversation after the scales have spoken. But the people are tired. Their expressions grim. And this castle is no different.
Even so, the decision was made together.
Yes. But I think we all know that I am at the source of our troubles. The responsibility ultimately falls to me.
If you truly wish to take responsibility, then I do have an idea.
And I would hear it.
Give me that ring.
But this is proof that I belong to the royal family. What would you do with it?
Have you die for your people.
Hey, boss, come take a look at this.
The poor soul. Or maybe not so poor, judging by these clothes.
Hey, Pa! Remember what I said about that reward money?
Of course I do. This might just be him.
Pa, take a look at this!
A shiny ring, huh? Is that the royal emblem? This has got to be Prince Roland!
The corpse is regrettably too damaged to identify, but the royal signet is unmistakable. Aside from Cordelia, there is only one who would wear the royal family's ring. There can be no doubt, this is Prince Roland.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but about that reward.
Thalas, give them their coin.
Yes, brother.
Thank you kindly for your generosity, Your Grace.
What a waste. Is this truly how the Kingdom of Glenbrook meets its end?
House Wolfort are no fools. Their friend was only a liability. They have spared themselves by forsaking the prince. They may have escaped, but there are none who would help them. There is no reason for us to concern ourselves with House Wolfort any longer.
A shame.
Your poor brother, betrayed by his most trusted friend.